Bitcoin is volatile by nature, so there is a chance that it will not be the same like all the high-tech stocks, Amazon and Google, and so that the volatility will stay, and that is also the source of the high returns, and because it's a double-edged sport. If the volatility goes away, the returns go away. So, but personally, I hope the volatility stays, and I think it will.
Plan B is one of the most notorious Bitcoin investors in the world. He has amassed a loyal and engaged following on Twitter and is responsible for creating one of the most well-known Bitcoin indicators in the crypto space, the stock-to-flow or S2F model. He is now primarily focusing on Bitcoin valuation models, on-chain analysis, and investment strategies. In today's video, Plan B specifically talks about Bitcoin volatility, future adoption, and government regulation of Bitcoin. He also discloses why he considers himself a Bitcoin maximalist. Stay tuned till the end if you want to know Plan B's most recent price prediction for Bitcoin. Hello and welcome to Money Talks. In today's video, popular Bitcoin analyst Plan B updates about current Bitcoin price action and the role of IMF and central banks in Bitcoin regulation. If you like the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the post notifications. Let's dive right into the video.
Probably joked about Bitcoin going up and then crashing back to 40,000 one day, and there we are today. And I think it's an excellent question about the volatility, because I mean, Bitcoin is so volatile, it gets attacked for that attribute, but with the volatility comes the return. And I guess experienced investors know that there cannot be return without volatility. But I've seen it personally with the stock-to-flow model and with Bitcoin now 3 times up and 3 times down, that when Bitcoin is up very much, everybody wants to buy it. And stock-to-flow model and Plan B is the man, the myth, the legend. But when it's down, and where we are today, and we experienced that in March 2020 with the COVID, when COVID first hit us, but also in March 2019 when I published the article, we were really very much down. Then it's all Bitcoin is dead and it's a bear market. It will go to zero. It seems like a black or white thing, and investors and people in general seem to forget that it's just volatility. And the overall trend, if you, for example, look at the 200-week moving average, the 4-year moving average, the overall trend is going up and never goes down. So yeah, I guess it's a question of perspective.
Plan B addresses a very crucial question that everyone is trying to comprehend. Plan B answers this question and states that there are bright chances that a few countries will come forward to accept Bitcoin in the coming few months.
I certainly think that trend is going to continue. And as a matter of fact, there is rumors in the market that a second country after El Salvador will adopt Bitcoin within 3 months. We don't know which country that is or where those rumors. We'll talk about it. And there's a lot of countries thinking about it. And well, I think it's a very smart move, to be honest. If we look at El Salvador, if you declare Bitcoin as a strategic advantage, as a technology that will help your country and your citizens, and you make it legal tender like El Salvador did, then you attract a lot of Bitcoiners, technology, brains, capital, and much in the same way that America did with the Silicon Valley. If you embrace technology like Silicon Valley did, you attract all the engineers and all the capital and venture capital, and that will bring great prosperity to your country. So I think what El Salvador did was very wise. We saw it playing out last couple of months. And El Salvador is now one of the few countries in that region that has a positive growth trend in tourism, in general economic growth, especially countries with a currency of their own that doesn't do very well because they made policy mistakes in the past. They printed too much money. They had too ambitious government programs that had to be financed, and so countries like Venezuela, Turkey, Brazil, Mexico would be ideal candidates to make Bitcoin legal tender, like El Salvador did, and that will, I'm sure, that will bring great prosperity.
Plan B also shares his thoughts about the legitimate fear that central banks and IMF have related to Bitcoin, and will this impact Bitcoin in the long run or not?
Yeah, I think there's legitimate fear for more countries doing the same as El Salvador did, and that, of course, diminishes the power that the IMF has and that the central banks, especially the U.S. central bank, has over countries like that. So I would be very afraid. I don't think they can stop it unless with force, and we've seen many examples in the past that, of course, the diplomatic and financial aid is the first step, and then force is the second step. So I think it's very, very interesting to see what happens and what the IMF does next, because it did urge El Salvador to cut the legal tender standard for Bitcoin, but El Salvador said no. So what's the IMF's next move? They must be very afraid, because El Salvador is a very small country. It doesn't have an impact on the world economy. So why are they so aggressively and so fiercely fighting El Salvador? It's an interesting question. I don't have the answer, but sure to watch it very closely. Of course, I'm a Bitcoin maximalist. I believe in the decentralization that Bitcoin brings, and the fact that it's the biggest one out there, and that Bitcoin is a protocol. But I sure see a lot of business cases that maybe do not depend on that decentralization as much as a money use case would be, as a Bitcoin use case would be, but more on the ICOs that we saw, or more recently the DeFi and NFT markets that are built on other coins. So I certainly see it as a very broad ecosystem. I am a Bitcoin maximalist, so I think that in the end, NFTs and DeFi and all that will be built on the much more secure and decentralized Bitcoin chain.
Although Plan B's stock-to-flow model has been deviating from Bitcoin price trends, but still, Plan B has made a price prediction for Bitcoin. This deviation began in March-July 2020, right after the third halving. Bitcoin managed to catch up with the S2F model by January 2021. Bitcoin somehow recovered again by November and marked an ATH of $67.5 thousand, reinvigorating hope into investors for Bitcoin to reach $100,000 by year end. But sadly, that never happened either. This led to a lot of people losing hope in the S2F model, as a multitude of external factors were not taken into consideration, making the model obsolete to current conditions. But Plan B in his recent tweet seemed to be certain in the model. The former institutional investor with 25 years experience says the world's largest cryptocurrency is on track to hit US $100,000 in 2023. Now, only time will tell if this prediction turns out to be true or not. And that brings us to the end of today's video. What are your thoughts about Plan B's Bitcoin analysis? Do you think Bitcoin will hit $100,000 in 2023? Tell us in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you soon with the next video. Thank you so much for watching.